Hey everybody, I'm Joey. You're watching Backpacker Brothers, and today I'm going to tell you all about my new Ultralight cook kit setup for 2019. So Pete and I have talked about backpacking food in the past and how important we think it is. And in fact, if you haven't seen our video outlining what a typical day of food might look like for us on the trail, go check it out. It's one of our more popular videos for sure. And we emphasize food for a good reason, because not only is it important to have a reliable source of calories and nutrition out on the trail, but you also want it to be something that you enjoy. Having a really good meal at the end of a day of hiking can be a nice little reward and something that is really a highlight of your day when you're out there on the trail. So the last thing you want is to have a cook kit that fails you, or is hard to use, or is annoying, or feels like a burden. So a cook kit that really suits your needs well and doesn't give you anything beyond those needs is really where you want to be. So before we jump right into what I'm actually doing that's new for this season, let's take a look quick at what I have been using most recently for the past couple of years or so. So here we have my cook kit. Everything that I've been using to cook my food in, to eat it out of, it's all right in here in this package in front of us. So the base of this cook kit that I've been using is the GSI Outdoors Pinnacle Soloist. This cook kit is sort of marketed as a one-person solution for all your cooking needs out on the trail. Comes complete with the pot, the case that it's in here, the lid, a mug, and then also a small utensil that you can use. So first thing is we take the pot out of the sack that it's in here. So right away, one thing to note about the sack that the pot comes in is that it's lined with this waterproof material on the inside. So you can actually fill this with water and use it as like a wash pan. That's a cool feature. To be honest, I don't know that I have ever used it once. I really tend to try and have a more minimalist style out on the trail because I just find it's a better experience overall. I tend to really try to minimize how many things I need to clean at the end of a meal or at the end of a day or whatever. So the truth is, I just don't end up needing to use it at all. I don't like trying to do a bunch of dishes out on the trail because no matter how much gear you have to do that, it's always going to be kind of annoying to do. So then we have the pot here. I believe it's anodized aluminum and it's anodized with Teflon. So that means we've got a non-stick surface on the inside. Sometimes those can wear out. The truth is though, this pot in terms of durability and reliability has been really awesome for me. I've boiled tons and tons of water in this. I've actually cooked meals directly in it, and I've done plenty of dry baking, which by the way, if you don't know what that is, I did a tutorial on it. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. I recommend giving it a try. That being said, dry baking can be kind of hard on a pot. This one has stood the test, and that being said, it's a good pot. It's got this nice latch system here, so you just sort of pinch these together, you pull this out, and then it snaps into place, and then you've got yourself a really good sturdy handle. The lid, nothing special about that. It's just a heat-resistant plastic. That's been totally fine, no problems there. Okay, so now we're getting inside the pot, and this is where things start to get a little customized. So a lot of the time when you buy an off-the-shelf sort of complete cook kit system, they'll include a utensil in there, and typically it's either all plastic or maybe it's sort of like half plastic, half metal. It's usually some type of collapsible design, something like that that fits easily in there. I just take those things immediately and cast them aside without any thought about it at all. I've been using this Toaks titanium spork for years and years now, and the truth is there's nothing else I'd rather use than this. Those flimsy plastic ones, they're just annoying to use, they're not durable. If you're gonna upgrade one thing in your cook kit this year, I definitely recommend that it be one of these. Okay, so next is my stove. So again, if you've watched this before, you've seen me use this stove on trips, you've seen it in comparison reviews, all sorts of stuff. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket. This thing has been with me for many years. It's been used hundreds of times, I've got to imagine. it's just been a really solid stove. So then we just have a couple of minor things that I usually throw in with my cook kit. Usually I have a means for igniting the stove, and then I'd also like it to be dual purpose for starting a fire. So here I have some waterproof matches. Sometimes I'll use like a Bic lighter or maybe even flint if I'm feeling more minimalist. So then typical fuel can, I usually just buy these MSR ones. You can get them at REI. I think you can maybe get these on Amazon. So then the last thing that is inside this cook kit is the mug. So I use this for coffee in the morning. At night, I'll maybe make some hot apple cider sometimes. We really like that. You can make tea, you can make cocoa. You can also dual purpose this as something that you can serve food in, you know, really whatever you want to do with it. So along the lines of talking about dual purpose, here's the thing with this kit. It's been great, I really like it, and I actually don't really have any complaints about it, to be honest. But even though this cook kit is marketed as a one-person solution, I have found that I actually think this could be a good two-person cook kit. The truth is, even if you're making yourself a 2-serving meal, the most you'll pretty much ever be boiling in this in terms of water is maybe, let's say, 2.5 cups. To me, I've found that it's just bigger than I need. So I really wanted to figure out if there's something smaller I could get, because that's gonna be a smaller pack, it's gonna be lighter weight, and it's just gonna be less clutter that you have to deal with. And all of those things, I can promise you, always end up adding up to a nicer, more fun and enjoyable experience. Okay, so here's what we've all been waiting for. What am I upgrading to this year? This is, as you can see right away, a little bit familiar looking. It's another GSI Outdoors product. That cook kit that I've been using from GSI has really been good, and it's impressed me a lot over the past couple of years. So I really felt comfortable that if I could find something from GSI Outdoors that fit what I was looking for, smaller, more minimalist, more lightweight, I'd be pretty confident in buying that. So what we have here is the GSI Outdoors Ultralight Minimalist 2. And really, the word minimalist I think is a good name for this product, because that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what I've been looking for here. So it's smaller than the Pinnacle Soloist, it's lighter weight, and there's just sort of less frills included in this. So the first thing is we've got this nice lid. Now right off the bat, I really like this because this lid has this sort of rubber gasket on the inside that seals when you press it down into the pot. So that, combined with this sort of insulating cozy on the outside, means that you could use this thing as a standalone travel mug. And what that also means is if you really want to, you can get away with not carrying a mug at all. You use the pot, you boil your water for your meal. Maybe you're eating the meal out of the bag that the meal comes in. I very frequently do that. And then you're left with this pot that's already clean because you just boiled water in it. Boil up some more water, mix your coffee right in the pot, put the lid on, put the cozy on, and there you go. You're good to go. You can drink your coffee, have your meal, and you don't need a mug. So we can see this cozy here. We slip the pot out. Very similar material here. It almost just looks a little bit higher quality maybe than the previous pot, so that's really cool. So this pot is 20 ounces or 0.6 liters, so that really should be plenty, right? 8 ounces is a cup, so if you want to, you can boil 2 cups of water in this without problem. So here we are again with what I was talking about before. Yeah, a little collapsible spoon. Yeah, I'm not going to be using that thing. We'll put that aside. I'll be using this. So we'll be transferring this from my old cook kit right over to this new one. And the final thing that comes in this cook kit is this right here. You'll notice this pot doesn't have any latch mechanism or handle on the side. What do you do, right? If you're boiling water here and you want to grab the pot, pour it into your food, where do you grab it? How do you do it? Well, they've thought of that. So what we've got here, basically I call it an oven mitt for your fingers. It's kind of funny, but so you just take your 2 fingers, you put it in there, and then you've got this flap here. So you slide that over, and then you just pinch it with your thumb on the side, and there you go. Now, I will say at first glance, it looks maybe a little bit less safe than having a good sturdy handle as usual, but having this on my fingers here, grabbing it, it actually feels pretty sturdy, and I'm not concerned about that at all. So, like I said before, you don't actually necessarily need to have a separate mug in this cook kit. That being said, Coffee is a pretty high priority to me in my morning, and so when I'm first using this, I do want to make sure that I definitely have a solution for making my coffee. This is the Sea to Summit X Cup. Now, I've always been a little bit skeptical of these. When you're talking about something like hot coffee, you don't want to be holding that in something that's flimsy at all, right? That being said, Pete has had one of these for at least a season or two, and he's really liked it, and overall both of us have been quite impressed. It really works quite well, and the fact that it is this sort of flexible material actually doesn't end up mattering. It collapses flat like this, and then you just push out the bottom, and then you've got about 1 cup of volume in this particular one. There are other sizes too. This is the one that really fit this cook kit the best. So then the last piece of gear that I'm gonna be doing differently with this is the stove. And for that, we've got the BSR backpacking stove. If you haven't seen our full comparison review of this stove with a really cheap stove, also with the MSR Pocket Rocket, definitely go check that out. It's also one of our more popular videos, and you'll see how this performed against the others. So we take the stove out of its little stuff sack that it comes with, and right away, I mean, you can see why I'm interested in this, right? I mean, look at how tiny this thing is. It's the most lightweight option that I have found anywhere on the market, and it's really pretty popular. A lot of people have been buying these up because also, guess what? They're pretty cheap too. So you just swing out the arms here, push them into place, and there you go. It just screws right on top of your fuel can just like any other stove, and you go ahead and use it. Now, there's no doubt that this stove is smaller, it's more lightweight, and it's maybe a little bit more delicate. That being said, this cook kit that I've assembled here, it's very minimalist. It's small, it's lightweight. The most water I'll probably ever boil in this pot is about 2 cups. So really, it's the perfect candidate for a stove like this. I'm really excited to use it. We'll see how it goes. This whole cook kit, as I'm using this throughout the season, I'll definitely be updating you guys, and you'll be seeing it in our videos as we go. So I'll let you know how everything's going, and let's see. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna like this setup, and I'll keep you updated. Now, I do need to be fair. I don't actually have this in there yet. Doesn't quite fit inside of everything here. So I might just have to throw this in with my food bag or whatever. It's really not that big a deal. The fact is, the footprint in my pack is still gonna be a lot smaller with this than it was with my previous setup. So there you have it. I'm upgrading the cook kit to the GSI Outdoors Ultralight Minimalist 2. I'm using the BRS backpacking stove. I'm transferring over the Toaks Titanium Spork, and I've got the new Sea to Summit mug that I'm also going to be trying out too. Other than that, I'll be using the same fuel canister, and I'll probably also be putting my typical fire starting equipment inside this kit as well. So we'll certainly keep you guys updated. I'll be letting you know how this goes as we go throughout the season. You'll be seeing it in trips, and in the meantime, we'd love to hear from you guys. Tell us in the comments what cook kit you're using right now. What's your setup? Have you used any of these products in the new setup I have or the old one? Are you making any upgrades this year? Let us know. We'd love to hear. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button for more content like this, and hike on.